The following is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Got a trailer for a piece I'll be working on at the end of this. Please stay tuned to the end of the video. So, I am an Ohio resident, and I'm going to be at OhioCon this year. That's a convention at Columbus, in the Columbus Convention Center and the Hyatt. It's going to be on the 10th, so if you're going to OhioCon and you see bones, that would be me. I'm going to be in civilian clothes, wearing a hollow mask, or going to be dressed as Dark Link as well. So if you see me, go ahead and hit me up. I don't mind. Let's get into the story now. Okay, first off, I think I should tell you all the results of the poll. Defrag is male, and as far as the level sharing thing goes, you must really want an OP little girl, because that's what you're getting. Carry on about a month, and we're officially a few months away from the year of MHA. Not the beginning, but the year. Izzy is having lunch with Mitsuki and Inko at basically a Chuck E. Cheese. Now, I went back there with a friend for nostalgia purposes. The pizza was garbage, but that ain't the case here. This pizza was on point. Having a meal with mommy and daddy, Inko happily sings to herself. Izzy and Mitsuki had smiles on their faces while watching their daughter be happy and spending time with both of her parents. I don't think I need to explain that this is a small family gathering. This is all about Inko, and no, it's not her birthday. I know it's lazy writing on my behalf, but she shares that day with her father. Some of you may be wondering why Masaru is cool with this. He ain't, but he knows that it's a losing battle. He wasn't about to try to compete with Izzy, and the last thing he wanted was to get in the way of Inko enjoying time with her parents. That would lead to an angry Mitsuki, a sad Inko, and what's worse, an infuriated Izzy. He was not crossing that bridge. Izzy handed Inko a card. Go have some fun, baby girl. Mommy and Daddy need to chat for a bit. Don't let her get into too much trouble, Defrag. A small male water sprite pops out of thin air. You got it, Daddy. Now, what else was he going to call Izzy? I mean, Defrag was born of Inka's subconscious, after all. Inka sees a giant stuffed version of her now second favorite hero, Ectoplasm. Defrag, we are getting that plushie before we leave. You got a screw loose or something? Then he thought for a nano. I meant more than usual. Don't you roll those eyes at me. Inko goes straight to the skee ball. A sign that said no quirk uses allowed was plain to see, and FYI, this little girl can read at a 4th grade level, so she read that sign. I don't think I need to tell you, but she's gonna cheat her little rear off by using gravitate in a way that her score is believable. Oh yeah, that plushie costs 10,000 points. Are we really gonna get that plushie just by playing skee ball? Inko pointed at the stacker and piano keys machines to state her point to Defrag. He'd be doing calculations to stack her, but she has good reflexes like her old man, so piano keys is on her. So what's up, Izzy? Mitsuki asked while holding on to his hand. Reinforce. Slot Miki's quirk. To be clear, no, Izzy did not bang Miki. Her sister in the high-rise, however, was another matter. Izzy has danced with her enough that her quirk, Beatmeister, is in his possession. Now remember how Plus Ultra works. The stronger quirks eat the weaker ones. Miki's won out. Miki can control sound waves and even enhance or decrease someone's tempo. Think somewhere between Vibe and Vanya, but less about Miki and more about what Izzy got out of it. The base quirk has the same name since it hasn't even been evolved as of yet. However, it's a whopping 2 levels from doing so. Inko has been playing with it since it's fun. Call it bad parenting if you want, but Izzy encourages his daughter to use her quirk so long as it's in a harmless fashion and not in public, or at the very least, not to get caught. Inko took that advice to heart considering what happened to her daddy when he got caught. However, what he does have is a decent sub-power, lost in the echo. I know it sounds like a stand or stand ability, but give me this, please. It works like a selective hearing, only he selects who hears. For the record, yes, his 4th slot is in use, which is exceedingly rare. I guess that tells you how badly he wants to have a moment alone with his dear Mitsuki. He was actually smiling and slips a ring on her finger where it belongs. It was his mother's ring, and by that I mean Inko. Masaru got jealous of that ring and said that she should give it back to Izzy when he got out of the high rise, which she did. Dude, you have no idea how founded your jealousy was. Miki thinks she's got a beat on Dobby. He's still in the city. She's got her people working around the clock. This is a race against time since Nox has undoubtedly sent their assassins on him. I don't need to tell you what's getting him alive could mean. Mitsuki gave Izzy a small kiss that was far more intimate than it looked, considering where they are. Hey Izzy, I've got a odd combo with Torrent called Waterfalls. It would literally put us out of sight and mind unless someone is actively looking for us and knows we're here. That got a smile out of Izzy. It was time for him to go chase some waterfalls. Sorry, I could not resist. Needless to say, he used the power to the fullest. And no, they did not do anything inappropriate. But being away from prying eyes helped them talk about the confidential info. While catching Dobby is a good step into getting Izzy's name cleared and crushing Nox once and for all, it wasn't the game-ending piece. While Dobby knows enough about the company to prove his innocence, he needs more people that were once in Nox's inner circle so he can expose them for what they are. A corporation filled with the vilest of villains. Don't worry, Izzy. You'll be free and able to mount a proper assault on Nox soon enough. Mitsuki got closer to Izzy, but before she could get too close, a darling little girl came by and noticed the table was gone. Defrag informed her of their new skill, but that would require a dual power swap, and she didn't have time for that. Defrag had an idea. Hey, Mommy, the table's gone. Is that Daddy's doing? Defrag asked his mother. Yes, dear, it is. Daddy and Mama Mitsuki are talking about legal stuff. I'll let them know that Inko's hungry. Reinforce gave Izzy the message, and he undid the illusion. No one was the wiser. This ability would come in handy. Mitsuki noticed that Inko was holding on to a giant ectoplasm plushie and pats her daughter on the head. Izzy, however, drops Inko a line via Reinforce to Defrag. I assume you used Gravitex on Skee-Ball for most of those tickets. I'm glad you are discreet with your quirk usage, dear. But try not to cheat next time, okay? Inko replies with a yes, Daddy. And the day was done. Katsuki was at the door when Mitsuki gave Izzy a kiss and returned the ring. Once Izzy flew off and back to his place, "Mom, Dad's gonna find out about that ring eventually, and he won't be happy about it." Mitsuki and Inko walked past him and went inside. "I'm trying to spare you major heart, you stupid hag. Just pick Unk and be done with it." Katsuki knew his mother's heart better than she did or cared to admit. Inside he went, and the afternoon became evening. Izzy spent the night with All Might and giving him yet another deep tissue bath in healing waters. It was at the level that it could heal him, but it would take a lot of time, and he stated as much. Once All Might could feel that the water was done doing its thing for the night, he put on a shirt and walked outside to an odd sight. Izzy and Nomori were out cold right next to each other. They must have been talking for quite some time. Nomori and Izzy had become good friends, so the fact that he's healing her boyfriend and increasing the amount of time he can do his thing for really worked to secure him the position of close friend. They were out cold, like I said. If you didn't know better, he'd think they were siblings. Proper siblings. Not like Izzy and Mitsuki. Toshinori grabbed a blanket and gently put it over them. Of course he snapped a pic before he did that. "Maybe I should send this to Mitsuki." Said woman was enjoying a beer when she got that pic. It was utterly adorable and completely innocent. But she had to make sure. "Please tell me you didn't send this to Melissa." Mitsuki sent. "I'm not that stupid, Mitsuki," Toshinori replied. Fade to a bit, and to see Katsuki training at his uncle's house. And truthfully, he wasn't here just to train. He was also there to pay a visit to his sister. It had been decided that she'd live with Izzy, since on the odd case of her having a tantrum, he could shut that down like that. That was Masaru's excuse for getting Inko out of his home. Sure, he loved the girl, but at the same point in time, he just couldn't stand looking at her anymore. The constant reminder that Mitsuki truly does love Izzy. Mitsuki was not happy at this suggestion, even though his place is about a 10-minute drive away. Masaru was sleeping on the couch for a week. Katsuki was making explosions left and right. Unfortunately, they weren't hitting their target. Inko was being a rather hard-moving target using rocket. She'd also move in and lightly tap her brother a few times. "That's the best you got, little firecracker!" he yelled at his sister. Now, to be clear, Katsuki is not holding back at all. Inko has every resistance her father has. Speaking of which, Detonate has reached level 10. Shall we evolve it? Inko gave off a wicked smile. She knew full well her daddy was just doing office work today, so on the worst case scenario, he'd have time to master a new ability if it changed completely. "Do it, Defrag." "You got it, Toots." The skill Detonation Grenade has changed to Detonate Bomb. "Oh, yeah. 10 charges can be placed now." At that moment, two people smiled, the wickedest smiles to ever exist. The looks on the faces of both father and daughter could make a soldier flee in terror. So, Inko went in and put a few more hits on her brother, who was just laughing it off. "Sorry, Nii-chan." Before Katsuki could even process that, an explosion like he'd never witnessed before took him out. Said explosion was somewhere between AP shot and howitzer impact. Like I said, OP little girl. "Silly older brother. If you can't even beat me,
who only used one of her two slotted quirks offensively? What makes you think you're anywhere near Daddy's level? Know your place. And the name is Spitfire.
Of course, he didn't hear any of that, 'cause he got knocked the frack out. Fade to Miki and her people in their lair. It kind of looks a little like Dead Sect's hangout, since that's basically what this group is. They intend to give this power back to Izzy and the security team when they manage to.
Holy stalker, I got him! Miki fracking got him!
Everyone was clapping for their boss at that moment. Miki had a call to make.
Hey, Capo. We got him.
Miki disclosed the coordinates, and Izzy shot off like a rocket. However, Miki's crew, to which I haven't come up with a good name for, weren't the only ones to find Dobby. It was a full-on Quirk battle in D-Tech City. Omni was wearing his newly minted flight suit that turned into a small jet and allowed him to fly at serious speeds. Omni utilized Sound Sonic, the evolved form of Beatmeister, to harness the sonic boom into a combo with Detonate. Concussion Grenade was the name of the combo, by the way. With that, he swapped into battle mode and got to Dobby's back.
Dobby, at long last we meet.
Dobby let out a jet of flame. Why are you helping me?
I need you alive for many reasons, one of which is to admit you were hired by Nox to do what you believed to be a sanctioned burn of a building. The name is Omni. You may remember me as Hydroid. I was framed for one of those fires since I was giving people in the hood hope and seen as a nuisance by Nox for it.
If we make it out of this alive, I'll give names and point fingers. That was all he needed, since these were assassins. Izzy showed no remorse in dealing with them.
I need them alive, Toya.
Yes, we're going with that theory for this one at least. Dobby had one of those how looks on his face, and Izzy had a look that said later. Dobby kept Omni's command of not killing, but the assassins were hanging on by a thread. Izzy Flash froze the fools and had them transported to a random warehouse. They'll never talk. These guys are hardcore gangsters. Dobby let out, and Izzy was just smiling. I don't need them to talk. I just needed them alive so she could do her thing. Reinforce appeared, and tendrils of water flowed into the bad guys' mouths, ears, and noses. They started to convulse, and some were foaming at the mouth. While Dobby could give Izzy his freedom, these fools had valuable information on Nox's criminal activity. A few minutes later, and done. These fools really had done a lot for Nox. We hit the mother lode, Izzy. Dobby was looking at Reinforce in utter horror. Relax, that won't be happening to you. You're going to tell me everything I need to know to prove my innocence, and in return, I shall hide you from Nox. Izzy had literally made Dobby an offer he couldn't refuse. See you next time, Deadites.